Now I finally got the new looms that I was missing, so now I can actually finish the harness and put it back in the truck. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the exhaust housing on the turbo with the high temperature paint. And it's going to be silver flat aluminum on this spot. So we're going to paint that. It's going to look a lot nicer, and it's going to look a lot better in our clean, nicely painted valley. So I'm going to go ahead and degrease, clean, mask off, paint the turbo, and then in between layers I'm going to be working on the harness. Alright guys, and here you go, and the harness is finally finished. Everything's rewrapped, ready to go into the truck. So it looks a lot better. It's going to look a lot cleaner in the engine bay. Also, I went ahead and painted the turbo. Now first I painted the housing, the exhaust housing, and then the compression wheel side. I tried cleaning the compression side, and it just looked horrible. Wasn't cleaning that well. It seemed like there was some kind of clear coat, factory clear coat on there, and one of the sides was kind of looked like it was baked on. So I pretty much scraped off with the wheel everything that I could, and then I cleaned it up with the scuff pad, and then degreased it, masked it off, took the cap off so I didn't get any dirt or debris inside the wheel area, inside the housing, and then I sprayed this with the same paint that I did the housing, the exhaust side. I gotta double check, but I think it says you can actually bake this either in the oven or when you have it on the car. You idle it for like 20 minutes, then let it cool off for about 20 minutes, and then you drive at normal temperatures for about 20 minutes, then let it cool off for about 30 minutes, and that's kind of the baking process. So I'm gonna do that after I install it back on the truck, but pretty much this is what we have, and she's done and ready to go. So I left this side not painted, whatever, just to have some kind of separation between the two. So it's gonna look a lot better in the truck that way. All right guys, let's see what we got so far. So pretty much connected all the plugs. This one right here is for the pedestal, but now that we don't have a plug here, I'm gonna install this plug right here. So basically you plug that sensor in here, and the back one, there's probably a resistor in there or whatever. So we're gonna plug that in the back of this sensor, and we're just gonna zip tie it somewhere over here because we're not gonna need this. And without this, we're gonna have a engine light come on. I picked that little plug from Rewrapping as well. All right, now let's go ahead and clean up the spider, get that installed, and start installing the intercooler piping. here, the intercooler piping was getting kind of banged up a little bit because of this little corner right here, and it was kind of messing up my wrap a little bit here. So some pipes even get damaged all the way through the metal, and then they start leaking right here. So what I end up doing is rounding off this little block right here. Be nice and rounded, and if it hits, it's not going to be cutting or damaging the pipe. So far I'm looking, there's no oil leaks, no nothing, so I'm gonna let her idle.
A few moments later.
All right guys, and there we go. And all the things that I wanted to do to the 7.3 to make it as reliable as possible are now all done. All the little clamps and oil lines and fuel lines and crossover lines and all sorts of things from riffraff. Everything's done to the 7.3, so now hopefully she is a 1 million mile engine. I still want to get the tuner and the KC turbo upgrade later on down the line, but before that I decided to do all of the things to make the 7.3 as reliable as possible before I start adding like mods as far as power goes. I'm still trying to finish up the wiring for the dash and the wiring for the steering column and finish all that stuff on the inside, but I'll get that video out to you guys as soon as I can. My work schedule is pretty busy, so I'm trying to do the best that I can with what I got. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any comments or questions, let me know down below, and we'll see you in the next one.